What's up, family? We're back once again, man. It's your boys from A Puff a Minute. It's time for another Cigars and Conversation. I'm your man, Cigar Mick.
It's Cigar Banker. What's good, people?
All right. And that was Polo the Dog, guys. Check it out, man. We are back in the backyard studio this week. There's a lot that's going on in Vegas. We got PCA coming up this week, man. So it's going to be really hard to kind of lock down position and timing in the lounge. Plus, the Banker's getting on the road again.
Yeah, man. Gotta take the family on the family vacation. So
again.
Yeah.
That's what's up, bro. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do what's right, man.
Yeah.
You know, so anyway, we're in the backyard studio. It is good to be back, man. It's always good to be back, but it's early in the morning because you don't want to deal with this Vegas heat in the afternoon, man, or late evening, or any of that type of stuff, man. So we're gonna get this in. We're gonna get started. We're gonna talk about what we smoking. Then we're gonna have a conversation, man. One that I hope that you guys can join in on your side, man, or like something up, man, and just enjoy what we putting out there. Feel me? Yeah, it is, man. So, bro, tell me what you smoking today, man.
Yeah, man, I had to go back to an old favorite. So I keep saying this, man. I have a hard time when I go to the shop and not getting the same thing. So I said, you know what? I really like this when it came out a couple years ago. This is the HUPS Aj Fernandez collabo. It's got the Sumatra wrapper with the Nicaraguan filler and binder. But yeah, man, this was one of my favorites when it came out. And we saw it at the release, right? Was it PCA?
Yeah,
maybe PCA a few years ago.
Yeah.
And then once it came out, it was so hard to find.
Exactly.
So it was like, but now it seems like, they have better production. They're able to get tobaccos and things again. So I've been seeing them a lot more. So I was like, let me grab one of these joints because I love AJ anyway.
There you go.
You know what I mean? And then with the collab with HUPS, it just made it better.
Shout out to the God, AJ Fernandez, man. You know, bro, you and I be so in sync, man. It's crazy to me because last week, you smoked that Illusione, you had the Epernay, right?
Yes.
And while you were talking about the Epernay, you also were speaking about the
CG4.
CG4. Well, right across in front of me inside my box, I had the CG4 and the Epernay.
Yeah.
I could have smoked either one of them,
Yeah.
but I went with the other stick instead, right? So now, here you come out here with this AJ Fernandez, and I literally was planning on smoking the AJ today. Just the AJ.
Oh, look it, yeah.
I got the Enclave AJ, that's what I'm gonna go with, right?
Yeah.
I changed at the last minute and decided to try something new.
Okay.
What you gonna do? Try something new. So, I'm literally smoking this for the first time, bro. Again, because I like to experiment a little bit.
Yeah.
This is called a Machete, and it's by the Hot Cigars, right? The Hot stands for Danley Honduras Tobacco.
Okay.
Right? I think it was formerly Don Calaveras or something like that, right? But I wanted to get into this a little bit because of our boy Brian. Saying that he's down in Honduras a lot, right? And I think sometimes we overlook Honduras as the tobacco region it is, and it's been like one of the top regions since the 1960s. Matter of fact, a lot of people say that the tobacco that's grown in Honduras is the closest that you can ever get to the Cuban, right? Because of the climate and and all of that. So they do a lot of Cuban seed down there, a lot of stuff like that as well. But this one right here, man, is got the Honduran binder, right? The filler is actually Nicaraguan, right? And then it's got that nice Habano wrapper on it as well, man. So it's a good cigar, man. It's kind of got a little cocoa to it, man. A little nice little flavor profile so far. But enjoying it, and this is what we're doing today. If you can find this one, I'll give you a hint, man. The Hot, that's the same company that makes the Clown. So a lot of people are familiar with the Clown. Right? This is a little box press. The Vitola is a Toro on this one. But it's a nice little stick if you can find it. Alright? So there we are, bro. Yeah, man. So like I said, there's a lot that's gonna be going down in Vegas here in the next week or so. All the lounges are gonna be packed, man. We're gonna have all the cigar manufacturers in town, doing their thing, hawking their products and all of that, man. So PCA is actually a insiders convention, right? It's really between the manufacturers and the retailers. It's where the retailers come. They get to see what's new, what's coming out, right? And they can place their orders wholesale right there on the spot with the manufacturer. So it's not open to the public. However, Puff a Minute will be in the building because the Puff a Minute is always in the building, and we're very grateful for that. So what I want to say is, we need to talk a lot, because what it does is it brings a lot of people from out of town.
Yeah.
Right? It brings a lot of people from different parts of the country. I mean, different parts of the world, and they end up going to the lounges and stuff like right here in Las Vegas, and you have varying degrees of knowledge when it comes to cigar lounge etiquette.
Mm-hmm.
Feel me? You know, so that's what I want to talk about today, man. A little bit of cigar lounge.
This might hurt some people's feelings.
It might hurt a few people's feelings, man. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, I think it's necessary, right? Because, I mean, knowledge is necessary for growth. And if you don't know, you don't know, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, man, we don't want to be, you know, people who are, you could be willfully ignorant, man, or you could be, you know what I'm saying, or you could just not know. So we want people to know, you know, this is kind of like what it's the expectation when you're in a cigar lounge, right?
And it's nothing like, you know, we were just having a conversation about the formality of golf and tennis, right? Wearing collared shirts. You go to a golf event, you know, you go with a, you know, you dress with a collared shirt. You can't even go on most courses. So it's the same kind of deal, right? It's like there's a culture about it. There's an etiquette.
Yeah.
This is not about being cigar snobs or saying you got to do it this way or that way. It's etiquette. There's etiquette in everything we do. So that preface it by saying that.
Exactly, bro. You know, so I think the first point for me about cigar etiquette, which is, this is something that I see a lot of, you know, and more so I'm going to say with people who are new, right, and they're trying to convince people that they are more savvy than they are, right? But one of the things that you definitely don't like to deal with when you're in a lounge is people who play the role of the cigar snob, right? And they're like, well, what are you smoking? And, you know, I don't smoke this, and you know, like, you know, let people smoke. Don't sit there and compare or comment about what somebody else is smoking, man. You know, because again, you can have a, you know, a $50, $100 stick or whatever, or somebody might be smoking, you know, a $7, $8 stick, and it's enjoyable for them, right? So that's one of the things. People always try to impress other people when they're in there. Like I said, that's more of the newbie crowd. You know, I only smoke 6x60s. I only do this. I only do that. And like, nobody really cares, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let me enjoy my moment.
Yeah.
You know, I'll give you another example. Even the accoutrements, right? Even the accoutrements, man. Cats will come in there.
Oh my God.
With their lighters and their, you know, and their cutters and stuff, and be like, yeah, man, I paid, you know, $300 for this set, you know, whatever. So, you know, I seen somebody really dog a dude one time, man, because he lit a cigar with a big lighter, right? Oh man, he's a poser. He ain't a real cigar person. He got a big lighter, and mostly everybody who is a cigar maker, right? They use like big lighters and stuff like that, right? I learned that from our boy Brian as well, right? So again, it doesn't matter like what you're doing. You don't have to be, oh, I got to use a, you know, a stick or whatever, man, a piece of cedar splint, like my cigar, and all of this type of stuff, man. Look, do you, right? And again, your cigar is gonna smoke just as good whether you use a $3 Bic or a $100 butane lighter. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So that's one. I'm gonna give you a point, bro, but that's one for me.
Yeah. I'd say one for me is the over puffer. The one that, you know.
What's the name of the show?
A puff a minute.
Come on.
A puff a minute.
Yes,
I see so many cats smoke their cigars like cigarettes.
Yes.
And I'm like, they be gone. They get a 6x60 and it's gone in 45 minutes.
Exactly.
And I'm like, bro, how do you smoke a 6x60 that fast?
We said an over puffer.
Over puffer. But and I say this to say this. I make this point because it comes down to enjoyment of the experience.
Exactly.
It's meant to be enjoyed. What we call it, the mini vacation. It's meant to be enjoyed. Take your time. Have your conversation. Now, and it's not always a bad thing if your cigar goes out.
Exactly.
Some people have this concern, I got to keep puffing because I got to keep it lit.
Yeah, right.
I was like, some cigars are just meant to go out. They just built that way.
Yeah.
The wrapper may be tight. It may not be as open of a cigar. It might be a smaller gauge. Those kinds of things will happen and the cigar will go out.
Exactly.
You have to be cognizant of that and not say, okay, I got to keep puffing it to keep it lit. Well, I can't let it sit down. I'm like, you can let it rest. Let it rest.
Exactly.
Let it breathe. Let it open up, because as you get to the first third, to the middle third, to the bottom third, you're going to have different flavors.
That's right.
And you got to make sure you smoke it the right way. Otherwise, it burns too hot.
Yep.
And you get to the point where you're not even really enjoying the cigar.
Yes.
You start getting a lot of tar at the end. You're getting tar in your mouth, changing the flavor of the cigar. There's so many things that go on when you puff it too much.
Yeah.
So,
you know, that's a really, really good point, bro. You know, it's a great lesson because, again, a lot of people don't realize that when you're puffing your cigar, it gets hotter.
Yeah.
Right? And the hotter it burns, like you just said, the more you change the flavor profile. Right? So you want your cigar to burn cool. A puff a minute is not just a title, it's a rule, y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's how we started, trying to educate people to slow it down. You know? Another thing that I find very, very frustrating in a cigar lounge is when people, on that same note, what you were just saying, is when people smash out the butt of their cigar, bro.
Oh my God!
You know, that's just rude. You know, it's just so. Let me explain to y'all why that's rude. Why that's rude, though. Okay, so when you're in the cigar lounge, right, you want to keep the ashtray empty. Not empty, but you want to keep it as, you know, open as possible so that people can drop ashes in it. And when people are smashing out butts and stuff like that, first of all, it stinks. You know what I'm saying? Second of all, it's just bad etiquette. But third of all, it kind of takes up a lot of space in the basin of the ashtray as well, right? So you know, what a cigar is intended to do is just burn out. Like if I was done with this stick right now, I would just leave it just like that, and eventually it will go out. Yeah. That's all you have to do, right? All right. So again, it doesn't take a lot, man. But sometimes, again, you still see people who don't understand, and you'll see them in there smashing out a cigar or something like that, man.
Oh, that drives me crazy. But I'll add to your first point, right? When you talked about people that come in want to be the cigar snob.
Yes.
What are you smoking? I had a buddy of mine tell me a story about a gentleman. They used to throw a party, right? They would have everybody come. They would have everybody take the bands off of their cigars to avoid that situation, right? Because people become snobs about it, and they want to say, okay, did you spend $13? Did you spend $40? And then some people buy a $40 stick and mad it was $40 when they could have got a $12 or $13 stick that gave them the same experience.
Exactly.
And you know, we love a Rudione.
Yes.
A Rudione's price point is perfect for me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? $12, $15. Some case, you know, some of them are $20, $25. Exactly. But those are, you know, one-offs. And I say one-offs. One of them is the Ross one, or not the Ross one. What is it called? Everybody always thought it was a peace sign, but it's the airplane.
I'm talking about the one-off.
Yeah, the one-off. I was making a play on words there.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, that's absolutely right. Yeah. You know, so again, just, you know, you don't have to do that. You don't have. It's not about, you know. I mean, people do that even in about lounges, man. You know, I belong to this lounge. I belong to that lounge. Or this, that, and other thing, man. They try to use it and what have you, man. But again, you know, the cigar culture, man, is supposed to be enjoyed on many, many levels, right? So not any one level is not better than the other. Any one, you know, person who enjoys this is not better than somebody else who enjoys that, right? So if that's how you feel, that's cool, but just don't bring that into the lounge environment, right?
Oh, the other point I wanted to make, when you talk about cigar etiquette, you go into somebody's lounge.
Yes. The
BYOB, right? The whole mentality, okay, I'm gonna bring my own cigars, which is fine, perfectly fine.
Yes.
You know, cigar owners want you to enjoy yourself. If that means bringing in your own stick, then be expecting to pay a cut fee.
Exactly.
And don't be mad about a cut fee because you didn't support the business in that aspect. Exactly. But hey, guess what? If you have an opportunity to buy drinks, you got opportunity to buy top shelf liquor, buy the liquor, and guess what? They may waive the cut fee.
It's possible.
It's possible, right? I'm not saying that's what they're gonna do. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's still, anytime you go into a cigar lounge, man, that has a humidor, you know, we probably should have talked about the different types of lounges, right? But there are different types of lounges, but at the end of the day, it really comes down to two, right? You got like your library type lounges, and then you got like your more, you know, club type lounges and things of that nature as well. But when you go to a lounge, man, you know what I'm saying, the expectation is that you're coming there to smoke cigars because it's a cigar lounge. Mm-hmm. And the expectation is that you're going to purchase cigars, right? To smoke while you're there. So like you said, it's cool to, if you want to bring your cigar in, you know, that's fine. But I still say, even if you come in with your cigar, or some people come in with a suitcase of cigars or whatever, but if you come in, you should still go and support that business by buying 1 or 2 cigars.
Yeah.
You know, for the humidor that you can use for later on. Like me, I like to age my cigars a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And when you go buy a cigar from the humidor, you don't know how long it's been there. Yeah. A lot of times I'll come in with a cigar that I took out of my humidor. I'll buy cigars, right? Or I'll buy 1 or 2 cigars, and then I'll take those home and put them in my box. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So again, there's different ways of supporting the business, man. If they have, you know, beverages, you definitely, I mean, that's another great way to support it, and what have you. But Think about what life would be like if we didn't have these brick and mortars to go to.
We'd all be in the backyard.
We all be in the backyard like we are right now, right? But that's fine today. But what about when it's raining? What about when it's cold outside? What about when it's 120 degrees? You don't want to be outside in the elements, just so that you can try to enjoy your cigar. It's nice to go. It's 120 degrees. I want to go to a nice air conditioned environment, man. And maybe smoke a cigar and watch the game, right? Which brings me to another pet peeve, man, that I have when it comes to cigar lounge etiquette, right? So undoubtedly, right, anytime you have a lounge, there's going to be people who become regulars. Right? They're going to become regulars, and they're going to be very, very comfortable with the location. They're going to be comfortable with the staff and the owners, and kind of build their own rapport. And then they start treating the lounge like it's theirs, right? They could be members, they could just be regulars, or whatever the case may be. But you always want to make the environment very, very welcoming to visitors, right? So you can't, treat visitors badly, or somebody that you may not know or what have you badly, just because you're somebody who shows up a lot. I've seen this a lot, man, especially as of late, where people will walk into a lounge, man, and they'll be like, "Hey, that's my seat." Or something like that. That's just rude. Again, there's no place for that. I'm sure that the lounge owners appreciate your continued, patronage. Thank you. But at the same time, this is not your lounge, right? This is not your business. This is not your home. I said to somebody this past week, a lounge owner, I said, you want people to feel at home, but you need to let them know that it's not their home. You know what I'm saying? So don't go to the lounge, man, throwing your feet up on the furniture and, this, that, and what have you, right? There's still an etiquette. Even if it's in the private members lounge, right? Again, everybody that's back there should be a private member. Now, occasionally somebody may bring a guest back, You still want to be accommodating to those guests when they come back. But if you are a guest, if you are a visitor, right, this is the other side of the coin, and you see a group of people that are sitting there engaged in a conversation, don't just go up there and interrupt and interject yourself in the conversation. All right, that's the other side of the coin, right? So, I mean, you can sit there and engage, but if it seems like there's room or that you're invited into that conversation, then that's the time to do so. But don't just automatically be like, well, I'm in the lounge and I get to talk to everybody, because people are kind of territorial, so, but
very much so. But you're right, man, the seat savers, and that's my seat, and make sure that's my spot open when I get there, all that kind of stuff. And we've gone to lounges where you can do that. Some of the larger lounges on the strip, they'll allow you to make reservations and stuff, but like you said, the more library types, you're more like backyard barbecue type lounges, you're not going to go in there and say, I'm going to have a seat saved all the time.
Right, exactly. And even on the larger lounges that they allow that at, on the strip and stuff, those reservations come at a cost.
Money involved.
They come at a cost, man.
So, and do you want your regular brick and mortar to be like that?
Exactly.
Probably not.
Exactly right. So that's another one for me, man. You got anything else? Yeah.
Oh man, the one I was thinking about was pairings, but that's probably a whole nother show, bro.
Is what?
Pairings. People get on you about what you pair with your cigar, and what do you like to drink, but that's a whole nother topic.
Most people don't understand the difference between pairing, right, or just drinking something with your cigar.
Right.
There's a difference, right? Some people just prefer to have a certain drink with their cigar, but the pairing is a little bit there. It's a little bit more intricate. You know what I'm saying? That's when you're matching the flavor profiles and the profile of the bourbon. Is it smoky? Is it more oaky and stuff like that, as compared to the actual cigar itself? So that's an advanced class right there, man. And most people aren't that advanced. They just playing.
And I just make the comment because I was thinking of somebody that was telling somebody don't drink a sweet drink with your cigar because it'll change the flavor of your cigar. I said, at the end of the day, you should drink what you like to drink. It's like it shouldn't always have to be a formal. We're not doing taste testing every time we sit down and smoke a cigar.
Exactly.
Now, if someone like us says, okay, I know I got a deeper flavor cigar, I'm gonna go with this pairing over here, whether it's maybe 100 proof bourbon or something like that. You may have those kind of conversations with yourself, but you don't have to tell nobody else that.
And sometimes, that's exactly what you're looking for, right? Maybe something sweet, with your cigar. You're talking about changing the profile, but sometimes you want you want your pairings to match up, and sometimes you're looking for a little bit of contrast.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The offset, so to speak. So,
and like I said, you might be talking about I'm drinking a palate cleanser versus I'm having something to pair with my cigar. I want to clean my palate at the same time so I can get a fresh smoke every time.
Exactly.
That's a whole, like I said, but that could be a whole nother show.
Yeah, exactly. The water bottle. The water bottle that's filled with vodka. In the pocket, pocket rocket, as we call it, man, or whatever. Come on, bro, that's played out. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, you know what I'm saying? Support the business. We already covered that piece.
BYOBs.
Support the business, y'all. That's what they there for. What else can I think of, man? Really quick. As far as dress code, I always believe that you should be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? You should be comfortable, man. There are certain lounges out there that have, more strict dress codes. You gotta wear a jacket or something like that. But for the most part, I think business casual, just something that, you don't want to come in there with, ripped up jeans and whatever the case is. You just want to be presentable, I want to say. So,
and it's funny you mention that because we in Vegas, right? This is the club central in the world, probably in the world, but definitely in the country. But anyway, with all these different clubs, people start using club etiquette. So they'll say, okay, if we want to bring in a certain crowd, we know to institute a dress code.
Right.
So they'll say, okay, we'll tell you got to wear a collar shirt, no sport, no jerseys, no tennis shoes, sport apparel, stuff like that. That's a way to bring in a certain level of crowd. But another way you can keep, a certain level of crowd is saying things like no cigarettes or no Black and Milds. So it's like, okay, it's a way of kind of doing crowd control without doing obvious crowd control.
I'm glad you brought that up, actually. People always ask, can you smoke a cigarette in a cigar lounge, right? You probably can, but should you? I don't think you should, right? The people who are drawn to the cigar lounge are there because they enjoy cigar smoke. And all smoke ain't the same.
No, it is not.
All the same. So, if you're a person who's used to premium tobacco like me, I can't even be around cigarette smoke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I could be around cigar smoke, pipe smoke all day long.
Yeah.
When you bring a cigarette around me, bro, it makes me nauseous.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, man, should you smoke a cigarette in a cigar lounge? No. Should you come in there smoking a Black and Mild? No. That stuff, when that smoke hits the air, right, it affects everybody in the room.
Yeah.
So it's a lot different than if everybody in the room is smoking
cigar. Yeah. But like I said, it's one of them things where you could try to figure out, okay, we're gonna weed out certain people by restricting certain things.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, okay, we want everybody to come in. Then that's what ends up happening.
Exactly.
So.
And let's talk about how long you occupy the space.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about how long you occupy the space. So again, everybody in the lounge, that's working there and what have you, they're there to support you, man. They're there to make sure that your time spent there is enjoyable, right? But, if you're not smoking and you're not drinking, or you're no longer smoking, maybe you had a cigar, and you're no longer drinking, you should get out. You should leave because there's other people. There's capacity limits at these places, right? There's other people that may want to come in and may want to have that spot to sit down in and enjoy their stay. Again, this goes back to people planting flags and saying like, this is mine, this is so on and so forth. So again, as long as you're in the lounge, you should have a drink or a cigar in your hand, at all times. And when you don't, and you're no longer doing that, it's almost like you're stealing a little bit.
Yeah.
I hate to put it in terms like that, but it's almost like you're stealing a little bit.
Yeah.
And there's somebody else that can be, even if there's other places where people can sit, somebody may want to sit there. They're just holding down the spot.
Yeah.
Right at that point. So, either continue supporting the business or, kind of move on, bro. Now again, I'm talking about regulars, right?
Yes.
And even visitors, man. If you're a member, right, you're paying a monthly fee, then of course you have a right to, be there and hang out. But that's why they have the
members area. Yeah.
Right? But I wouldn't do that in the general lounge,
right?
So to speak, right? So
no, you're absolutely right. That turnover is important. I mean, you go to a restaurant and there's some buffets that got a 2-hour limit and stuff. So it's like they need to turn those seats. They running a business.
But football season's coming up, right?
Oh yeah.
Why I say that?
Yeah.
We'll have people out here in Vegas. Games start at 10 o'clock in the morning.
They will stay till.
We'll have people that'll show up at 10 o'clock in the morning and want to hang out and sit there until 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Right? And what? One cigar,
one drink,
and 2 beers or something like that, and want to hang out for the whole day, bro. So so these are things that people need to think about, man. And it's really hard because the owners, man, and again, I'm trying to be an owner's advocate, right? The owners don't want to be the ones to say, hey, I'm gonna need y'all to pull up, I'm gonna need y'all to bounce or whatever. They don't want to do that,
right? Because
then you leave and you're disgruntled, right? And then you start spreading poison about the location.
Yeah.
We do that, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We do that. You start spreading. If you have one bad experience, you're gonna tell everybody.
Such and such.
So at the end of the day, they don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So if we could be mature enough to understand that it's a business first, right? It's an enterprise first, and it's there for your enjoyment, but it's not, it wasn't built just for you to hang out, and whatever. So,
yeah.
So those are some of my major pet peeves, man, when it comes to lounge etiquette. But I do have to tell this one story. Okay. I do have to tell you one story, bro. I'll tell you before this happens.
Yeah.
This will probably never happen to you, but I'm going to say it anyway. It is not okay, all right, to go up to somebody in a cigar lounge, like this one, and ask them if you can taste their cigar. That's not okay, right? This actually happened to me, right? In a lounge I was hanging out in one night and stuff, and I was talking to some cat, and he's like, "What kind of cigars do you like?" And I was like, "Well, I like cigars that I like I gravitate to the boutique brands and such and such flavor profile and all of that." And he was like, "Oh, that's cool, man." And he's smoking his cigar, and then he's like, "Well, what's that you got right now?" And I'm saying, "Oh, this is blase, whatever it was." He said, "Man, can I try it?" And I just looked at him like, this dude just asked if he could taste my cigar. I was confused, man. I was so confused, bro. I'm just looking, and he was dead serious. So I was just like, yeah, here you go. And I handed him the cigar. So he puffs it a couple times. You can tell when people come from the weed culture.
Yeah.
Puffs it a couple times. Yeah, that's nice, bro. That's nice, man. Thanks. And he went to hand it back to me. And I said, "You know what, bro? You good with that one, man? Go ahead and enjoy that."
Yeah.
And I'll grab another one out my box. So that is another one, man. You cannot do that. On the same note, when you visit a humidor, okay, there are certain things that you can do, right, to get to know your cigar before you purchase it, right? Feel free to pick it up. Feel free to roll it around in your fingers a little bit, man, and kind of get a feel for it, right? Do not put it in your mouth, taste it. Don't do that, right? That right is reserved for the people who have already purchased it. Okay, after you buy it, feel free to put it in your mouth. Also, do not put it under your nose to try to sniff it, right? I mean, COVID is a real thing, people. You know what I'm saying? And even if it wasn't for that, we got all kinds of airborne diseases. So don't do that. If you want to hold it away and see if you can kind of get a...
You're supposed to smell the butt anyway.
Yeah, if you want to get the essence of it, you know what I'm saying, then that's fine. But don't put it in your mouth and don't touch it to your nose or anything like that. If it's in the cellophane wrapper, do not remove it from the wrapper until after it's purchased. Those types of things, man. So those are very, very key. And, I know it sounds elementary, but people are still doing this, man.
Yeah.
People are still doing this. So, yeah, be conscious of that as well.
Oh, man, don't borrow somebody's cutter. Say, let me use your cutter. I'm going to put my cigar in my mouth.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to cut my cigar with your cutter.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about transmutable diseases. Like, once again, COVID is still a real thing.
Exactly.
People out here, they will still do that.
That's a great point, too, because many lounges have community cutters.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Community lighters.
Yeah.
That are, like, on the tables, right? And those aren't there to steal. Right? They're not, there for people to take home. You got to say that, some folks just disappear. But at the end of the day, they're there, to make it easier for everybody who's enjoying the lounge, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to Jerry's point, to Cigar Banker's point, I got to stop doing that. To the banker's point, if you're going to use the community cutter, don't put your cigar in your mouth first and then cut. All right, that's a no-no. or use somebody else's to do the same thing. I'm a guy who, if somebody asks me if they can borrow my cutter, right, borrow my lighter, I think it's proper cigar etiquette, man, to share your tools, right? But again, I'm watching that person when I hand them my cutter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I see, that they put that cigar in their mouth or something like that, I'll be like, yo, there's another one over there.
Yeah.
Or what have you. But yeah, I don't want you using my personal tool. If I see you sneeze into your hand, then you reach for my lighter, I might smack your hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So again, let's be cognizant of health standards as well.
Yeah. Oh man, I think we hit them with a lot, man.
That's a lot, man. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you guys were taking copious notes.
Yeah, the do's and don'ts.
Yeah, the do's and don'ts in the cigar lounge, man. So, I mean, again, man, everybody, I hope y'all had a great, holiday weekend, man. I hope y'all got a chance to check out last week's episode, man, on the 4th of July and Juneteenth and all of that type of stuff. We're gonna keep bringing y'all some content. Like I said, this week, man, we're shooting a little bit early because there's gonna be a lot going on. I'm trying to bring y'all some live content from PCA. The banker will be back Sunday night, so maybe you'll come down to PCA Monday, Tuesday, whatever, and we'll go from there. And then we're gonna keep doing what we do. Next week, we should be back in Tap and Ash. Yeah, we should be back in Tap and Ash. And then the week after that, I'm headed to Atlanta, man. So I'm gonna be hitting up one of y'all lounges in Atlanta, man. So I'll be in touch about that as well. All right. So that's what it is, y'all. Again, Cigar Banker.
You know what we do, man. Keep showing us the love on Instagram, man. We appreciate it. Y'all was checking out the live last week, but when we do the lives, man, make sure, comment, give us questions, because we really paying attention to that stuff when we're on the live as well. But also the comments that we getting on YouTube, some have been of great value, some not. But we appreciate all of it. We want the hate, we want the love, we want all that. We want the interaction. So keep doing that, taking the love over to YouTube. Mick been doing his thing with the YouTube videos, man. The library's there, the warehouse is there. Check out everything. We were at PCA last year. We were at TPE last year. Check out all that content because we're going to bring you some new stuff this year. You can do comparisons. Give us comments on people you want us to check out. Maybe some of your favorite cigar brands that might be in the building as well. Like I said, man, we appreciate everything y'all doing for us. This Cigar Banker.
Exactly, y'all. If you make it out to PCA, guys, come look for me. I'll be at the Cavalier table, man, with my man Beef, Brian Matola from Cavalier Cigars, and Sebastian from Cavalier Cigars. I'll be in that area, so come on through, say hello. Alright. And again, guys, the Machete. The Machete. Alright. From the Hot Cigars. It's nice smoke. I'm enjoying this one. Alright. Until next time, it's peace. We out. I'm your man, Cigar Mick.
Cigar Banker.
Y'all have a blessed one. Talk to you soon.
Peace.